Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Pulo Cham. If this is the first time joining me, welcome. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and keep sharing my videos. I appreciate you all the time. So today I wanted to talk about something very important to me that I've learned on this journey of mine, especially when I found out about my daughter's diagnosis with the autism spectrum, the growth, and it's the everyday journey that I'm learning stuff about myself, discovering stuff about myself. And this particular one thing, which is patience, Sabr, is one thing that I appreciate and I've learned through this journey of mine. So I wanted to talk about Sabr and how it helped me a lot and how I achieved it, how I started practicing it, and the different ways that I think now and the lens that I use now with the power of patience. So we all know that in life, at some point of life, we will experience hardship. The one that made us said that Allah SWT told us that in the Quran that He will test us with trials, calamities, adversities, any kind of adversities, calamities, struggles, hunger, fear, loss of loved ones. He told us all those stuff that He will test us. But He also told us that He will give glad tidings to those who are patient. So patience is a very important virtue that one should try to achieve in his or her lifetime. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about patience a lot in the Quran. So knowing that He will test us, knowing that we will face hardships, He also prepares us how to do that. And when the hardships occur, comes to our life, how do we practice patience? Sometimes we say that we are patient and we're not. I was listening to one scholar, one of my favorite scholars, and he was talking about there's fake patience and there's real patience. I was like, that is so true, because sometimes we tend to pretend that we have patience and we don't. He was explaining the difference between fake patience and the real patience, because patience is the state of heart. It's within. It's not something that you pretend that you can do it or you know how to do it, or you cannot fake patience. So when we say sometimes that we have patience and hardships occur in our lives, or trials and tribulations, or we lose a loved one, how do we react to that? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching us while those things happen. For example, me, when I was in that doctor's hospital, and the doctor came in with the diagnosis and was reading it to me and telling me, yes, your daughter is on the spectrum. If I didn't have patience that time, I could have been screaming or saying stuff afterwards, or like, why me? Why God? Why is God testing me? Why is this? But I understood that God told us that He's going to test us, and I accepted it. I acknowledged it and know that this is part of my test in this world. I trusted Him. I know that He did this for a reason. Instead of being displeased with His decree, I accepted what He decreed upon me. That is also patience. Accepting what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed upon you, what is happening in your life right now. Knowing that this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. If He wanted something else, He would have changed it. But if you realize that, okay, this cannot be changed, this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, you have to embrace it. Do not get angry. Do not be displeased with his decree, because that's not going to help. If you get angry with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed upon you, you keep saying wrong stuff, you keep swearing, you keep asking, why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do this to me? Why me? Why not somebody else? I'm like, who would you choose anyways? I'm like, who do you want to face calamity or adversities? Embrace what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed upon you, so you can earn his pleasure. Because if you are not pleased with the condition that he put on you, you will not earn his pleasure, because he is watching you. He knows what's going on. So he wants to test you to see how you're going to handle that test. If you are displeased with a condition that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put you in, that you are facing either right now or going through something right now, boo nanguute ndogal yàlla, lu yàlla dogal daf lay gën a sonal. The pain hurts more. You get more, the pain, it's like the pain doubles, and you put yourself in a victim mentality, the attitude of victimization, saying that you cannot control stuff. And if you start saying stuff that you cannot control stuff, you will not see how you can control stuff. Saying that you are helpless. And a Muslim, a believer, should never feel helpless if you are true to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Buñ nangoo li yàlla di dogal rek, daf ñoo noppal. Buñ jëlee yëpp delloo ko ci suñ borom rek, dafay yombal mbir mi. I could have been like, okay, oh my God, my daughter is on the spectrum. My daughter's this, I cannot do this. My daughter's this, I cannot do that. I'm a single parent and my daughter's this. And just keep on with that victimization attitude. But no, I refuse that. I refuse to do that. I took control of my life. I was like, fekk yàlla ngi fi rek, fekk yaa ngi dund rek, yàlla jeexut, yàlla ñëpp la fi nekkal. I can start from here, pick up from where I left off, pick up from whatever I got, whatever I have with me, and keep going and trust Allah, instead of being a victim, instead of just sitting down and complaining. No, I always say that all the time. People that always complain, it's a sign of ingratitude. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that anyways in the Quran, that we human beings are ungrateful. So instead of looking at what we don't have, or the hurt, or the things that we see as bad, let's look at the good. Let's look at what the possibilities, what we can achieve. Then things will start to happen, doors will start to open, and God will be pleased with us. Attitude is everything. It governs the way we perceive the world and the way the world perceives us. When we become fixated in our problems, we become paralyzed. Man loolu daf ma gën a may jom bu ma find out about the diagnosis and stuff. Even though my kids were not with me at that time, my other two kids, and I was going through all this stuff, ma gën a may jom, ma gën a mun a fas jom, gën a dëgër, gën a pare pour góorgóorlu. Suñ borom nag si la ma ñëw fekk si gën maa jàppale. Yàlla moo ñu ne suñ doxee ñëw ci moom dafa daw ñëw ci ñun. Kon nañ di jéem a góorgóorlu. Su dara xewee ñun nangul ko suñ borom, góorgóorlu, bañ a doon a victim. Let's refuse to be on that victimization attitude. It doesn't help. Let's take responsibility of our own lives and look for solutions instead of just focusing on problems. If there's a problem, let's talk about it, okay? But let's look for a solution. Let's get up and do something. Let's not just sit down and dwell on the problem. It's not going to help. What is that going to do? You're just going to get anxiety. panic, fear, worry, and I don't know, I want to live a life like that. If I have a problem, I want to find somebody that will help me find solutions. I want to find solutions. I will try on my level best to find it for myself. Then if I can't, I'll go to somebody that I think that might help. And I'll keep praying, as always. I always say, pray, pray, pray all the time, because the solution is always with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He guides us to the solutions that we need. Yàlla du musa ñëw ba wàcca si ne, okay, am lii wala defar lii. And when we have patience, we're not supposed to be miserable. We do not live miserable lives, because patience teaches you how to experience that feeling of getting to a better place, getting to Jannah. When you practice it and you experience it, you think about those stuff. When hard times happen, you're thinking about the reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has for you. But at the same time, the way you showing that you have patience, the way you handling stuff, it's aligned with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves and wants you to do. For example, you cannot say that you have patience when you are in a condition that, let's say you are sick, you're diagnosed with something, and you say you have patience while you are out there swearing, crying, blaming this person, blaming that person for your sickness, for your diagnosis. That's not patience. Another example is when your son or your daughter goes out there and does something really bad, and you cut them off in your life. And you say, "Ki pare na ci mom, I'm done with this suma dom bi, nama bay aduna ak alakhirah, buma tudati buma deye sax, buma fa tek tankam." That is not patience. Te so pare danga nan dama muñ, ina muñ, harama muñ ma muñ. Soy muñ, danga muñ te yàlla tax, muñ ngir yàlla. Waaye doo muñ ba pare ne danga def yeneen yoo xam ne neexut suñ borom. Loolu du muñ, loolu du patience. That's what my scholar calls fake patience. We think we are patient, but we're not. You will achieve contentment. That feeling of being content, that feeling of contentment, there's nothing like it. You happy with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you. You happy with the condition, even though you don't know why, or you don't understand what's going on, but you are happy with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put upon you. That's what I call patience. Boy muñ lu ne dang ci gis suñ borom, munoo ne dangay muñ ba pare bu méttee doo gis yàlla, bu neexee nga gis yàlla. Boy muñ bu neexee dangay gis yàlla, bu méttee dangay gis yàlla. Munoo ne dangay muñ ba pare di soxore doomi aadama, loolu du muñ. Munoo ne dangay muñ ba pare di oppress sa moromi julit wala kurut julit sax, di take advantage of somebody else. And I also learned that nothing lasts forever. Su dara xewee rek, lii dina jàlla, du yàgga. Before I would be like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I would dwell on my problems, like, how am I gonna get over this feeling sad, panicking and all that stuff. But now I've learned how to take things day by day, day by day. It shall be okay, Pulo. This is not gonna last. It shall pass. It's just a season. Just embrace it and just know that God is in control. Before, oh my God. So that's why I tell you guys, like, working on it, trying to achieve patience is something very grateful and rewarding if one achieves it in their lifetime. It's not an easy thing, and it takes practice. You have to practice it, and you have to want it for yourself. You have to be like, okay, I want to be a patient person. I want to apply patience in my life. You have to be practicing it all the time. So wake up one day and say, okay, today I'm going to practice patience. If you want to start tomorrow, like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start practicing patience. If something happens, I'm going to stop, think about it. Okay, I want to be patient. Don't be mad. If I'm on the freeway and there's traffic, be patient. Listen to something that you love, or just do your zikr, or think about something good. Be patient. You at the grocery store, there's a long line. You can practice it there. Your child does something. You don't want to scream at them anymore. That's the practice right there. So you have to want it for yourself. It's not an overnight thing. You just don't wake up and be a patient person. No, it takes time. You have to work on it and want it for yourself. And pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for you to have patience and to achieve contentment. If we reflect on our past life, contemplate on them, and deeply reflect on them, we will realize and learn that our hardships has brought with them some gift for us. Either it will bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or it will reveal your true people to you. You learn from them. All the hardships, all the calamities that you've been through in the past, if you reflect on them, you will see that there is something that you gain from it if you took it the right way. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran that indeed with every hardship there comes ease. He said, فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Surely, truly, with every hardship there comes ease. And he repeated again, with every hardship comes ease. So nothing lasts forever in this life. You might be confused. You might not know where to turn to. You might not understand what's going on at the moment. But it's a promise from him. If you do not see it in this world, he's probably saving it for you in the next world. And that's the ultimate success. The ultimate success is for him to be pleased with us. The ultimate success is to gain Jannah, which is in the next world. In this world, we have to understand that we cannot achieve 100% happiness. So we grow after calamities. We learn something about ourselves. We develop higher resilience, patience, and maturity as human beings. And those are all gifts, hidden gifts, that when the hardship is on, we're going through it, we don't see that. But if you look on the other end, if after the hardship is over and you reflect upon what happened in the past, you will see this stuff happening. Again, you will see yourself getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you will put your trust more on him when something happens. So let's practice patience and apply it in our daily lives. It's a way of life. And patience is powerful. It's liberating. It's freeing. It's a source of happiness, a source of tranquility. It brings peace to one's life. It doesn't give you misery. You do not live a miserable life when you have patience. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us patience. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us sabr. May he be pleased with us. And it's that time. Did you know? So on today's Did You Know did you know that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam always used to do istighfar every day, even though he He's already been promised Jannah. He's going to Jannah, but every day he would do istighfar. He would say astaghfirullah from 70 to 100 times daily. So moom mi nga xam ne mooy gën gi mindeef moom mooy dig nañ ko aljana ba pare mooy def istighfar that amount every day. How about us? So let's moisten our tongue with the zikr of Allah. Let's moisten our tongue with istighfar, astaghfirullah. It clears out the black dots on our hearts. Dafa raxas xol, dafa defar xol. And pray to Allah SWT to grant us qalbun salim, a pure, sound heart. Yal nañu yàlla defal lu gën ci ñun. Yal nañu yàlla may sabar, may ñu xoli muñ, may ñu dal, may ñu patience, ba lépp lu ñëw rek ñu antan ko te ñu nangul dogal. May Allah SWT be pleased with us. May He grant us beneficial knowledge. May He show us the way. May He make our affairs easy. May He be our only source of comfort. Until next time, hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.